All right, back for another beer review, and today I'm reviewing a beer from Cigar City Brewing, and they are out of Tampa, Florida, and this is their Cubano-Style Espresso Brown Ale. So this is an English-style brown ale, and on the side here it says ale brewed with coffee, lactose, and cacao nibs, which is interesting because on Untapped in the website they also say vanilla, but no lactose, so who to believe? I don't know, it says it on the can, so we'll go with lactose, but there might be vanilla in here too. Comes in at 5.5% alcohol by volume, 25 IBUs, and at the time of review, this can is just under 2 months old. So on the back here it says this English-style brown ale is brewed with a heaping of Cuban-style espresso beans from Tampa's Buddy Brew Coffee. Lactose and cacao are added as well, creating a bold ale that brings to mind a fine cup of Cuban coffee. So they don't mention vanilla on here. They do actually on Untapped, and I believe the website, but whatever. So yeah, when it comes to Cigar City, this is the first beer I'm reviewing from them, but it is not the first beer I've ever had from them. I've had quite a few, but I'm definitely going to review more from them going forward because we now get distribution in the Western New York area from them. Over the past, I want to say 5 or 6 months, their stuff has started to show up. I want to revisit some of their classic beers like their flagship IPA, Highlight, some of their specialty releases, some of their seasonals. And when I saw this, I was like, you know what? We're going to give it a go. So I actually sent this as a mystery beer, as part of a mystery beer package to a good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Paul, over at PABrewNews, as part of the hashtag mystery beer it forward that Matt over at Massive Beer Review started. And this beer was probably Paul's favorite of the bunch. He was loving it, and when he opened it up and realized it was just a brown ale, then again, you know, there's a lot going on, but he was like, oh my God, a 5.5% brown ale, this is awesome. So when I saw him review this, you know, no preconceived notions, as part of a mystery beer, it made me more excited to try it because yeah, I know what it is, and I'm going into it, you know, like all of my reviews, I'm going to give it a fair, honest go. But at the same time, I would be lying to say if I said that I'm not excited to give this a go based on Paul's review, because he made it sound to be very, very delicious, and I'm hoping that is the case. So give it a pour here, and we'll get into this one. So I've mentioned before on the channel, actually multiple times, that, you know, when it comes to brown ales, not my favorite style, but when they're well made, I can enjoy them. And when there's a lot of things like this going on, like, you know, cacao nibs and lactose and coffee, yeah, you can sign me up. So as far as the look on this one, this has a very deep dark brown, like a dark mahogany color. When Paul reviewed his, he was talking about like this looked like a light porter. Again, he was doing it blind, mystery beer, and I could see how he could think this is a light porter because it does have like lighter brown hints here, even like ruby red hints at the bottom, but it could be mistaken for a lighter porter. It has about a finger of a tan head, very creamy looking head to it as well, but yeah, it looks like a brown ale, albeit maybe a bit darker. Let's get a nose. Yeah, that espresso is screaming off the top. Very deeply like roasted coffee, yes, very nice. Almost giving like a, honestly, like a slight berry note from the coffee as well. Picking up on a little bit of a lactose. Again, whether or not there's vanilla in here, so many times they're interchangeable in my mind when it comes to the actual aroma and taste of like lactose and vanilla. So many times I have lactose in a beer and I'll be like, oh man, it tastes like vanilla, and vice versa. We'll see if it, you know, enhances the mouthfeel and whatnot, but it definitely, you can get a little bit of lactose, a little bit of vanilla to the aroma. Definitely more of a like a dark chocolate from the cacao nibs. Oh, there's some undertones of like a caramel and toffee base English style brown ale. Very nice, of like a slightly burnt sugar character. Even like a dry nuttiness too on the nose. Yeah, there's a lot going on. This is for a 5.5% beer. This is very complex. It's not lacking in complexity, let's say that, at least on the nose. It smells delicious, actually. Yeah, I just want to get into it. So cheers, everyone. Let's see what this one has to offer. I say that all the time because I'm an idiot. That's really nice for 5.5%. First off, it is a bit thin, but then again, it's 5.5%. So is it? Probably not. Lower side of medium bodied, higher side of light bodied. It's not as creamy as I was hoping it would be. I wanted it to be a little bit more soft and creamy. I thought the lactose would add that to it, but it is a bit more carbonated than I anticipated. But the flavors just meld together so beautifully. You get the deeply roasted espresso beans a bit of that lactose, adding like a vanilla kick. I mentioned this before in a review in the last couple weeks, but more like a Hershey Special Dark Chocolate, where it's a sweeter dark chocolate, but it definitely is a dark chocolate, and that's what I'm kind of getting from the cacao nibs. But yeah, let's just say lower side of medium bodied, mouthfeel, a bit more carbonated than I would like. There is a smoothness there, not really soft or creamy or anything. It's okay. Mouthfeel and body are okay. The taste, though, really nice. Has a decent amount of complexity at 5.5%. You are getting the espresso beans. You are getting a lactose vanilla vibe. Definitely picking up on the cacao nibs as more of like a sweeter dark chocolate. It's not overly sweet, but there is more sweet notes to this one than there are bittering notes. So while this is balanced, it's leaning ever so slightly to the sweeter side of things. The one thing I will say is, though, it is a bit more dry than I anticipated. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it helps. You know, when it comes to dry beers, I mentioned this so many times in my reviews, but I don't want overly dry beers. I know like a lot of people out there prefer them because it makes you keep on drinking the beer to get rid of the dryness, which is impossible to get rid of because as you keep drinking it, it keeps on drying out your palate. For me, I don't like that. I want a nice balance, and I want like a semi-dry finish where there's enough dryness there that maybe by the end of the drink, you're left with a relatively dry palate, but I don't want it bone dry after a couple sips. This one has a semi-dry finish, we'll say. Really not picking up on a lot of the caramel and toffee and the nuttiness that I was getting in the nose. So kind of the base brown ales lost a little bit for me. But with those adjuncts and what's going on in this one, it's a really damn tasty beer. I mean, it's not blowing me away like it was kind of Paul. Then again, I'm not doing this blind, so I don't know how it would feel if I was doing this blind. But drinking it, knowing what it is, and kind of trying to pick out what I'm tasting from the adjuncts, from the base beer and whatnot, I'm definitely enjoying it. So as far as rating goes for the Cubano-Style Espresso Brown Ale from Cigar City, 4 out of 5, all day, every day. And that's because this is a very easy drinking beer. I think I paid like $2.50 for the can, probably, I don't know if it's 4 packs or 6 packs. I'd imagine if it comes in 6 packs, probably in like the 12, 13 buck range, which is fine for an adjunct beer. Especially with so much stuff going on, but well priced. If you see this in your area, I know Cigar City gets distribution in a lot of new markets now, and if you see this, pick it up, especially if you like brown ales or if you like coffee beers, because I feel if you like either or both, you're definitely going to like this one. So appreciate you guys stopping by for another review, and until the next one, cheers.